This show is sponsored by Sims Business Systems, Arizona's #1 family-owned technology boutique, serving your copy, print, IT, and teleconferencing needs since 1978. Smartify your business with Sims.
Welcome to Exposing Entrepreneur Secrets. I am your host, Shawn Sims Bradford, and this is the podcast where we uncover the heart, mind, and soul of the entrepreneur's journey. And I am so excited. I've been after him for a while to come on the show today. I've got George Papamatheakis in studio with me. Hello, George.
Hello, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I am so happy you're here. Now, you are part of, your family owns quite a few different businesses. Collision Chiropractors, which has been 4 years in the making, you and your brothers, very successful business that's growing like crazy for the past year that I've known you guys. And then 3 months ago, you guys started MedRoyal and MedSpas. And then you are now about to launch a nonprofit that you're already supporting. So we'll get into that. And then you're doing something really cool with local businesses to support them. So we have a lot to get into. But first, I want to know where, for you, like this is so much going on. When did you first know that you had this wild entrepreneur spirit?
Well, I knew about it once I was a little kid because my family owned a restaurant when I was 3 years old. And I always seen the availability of having the freedom of doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. Even though you're still a slave to your business, you still have the options to do what you want when you need to. And I worked for somebody one time, and after that, I was like, I can never have a boss again. I got to control my own schedule.
Nice.
And that's when I became an entrepreneur.
I love it. And I love that you guys are so on point with your MedRoyal and MedSpas. Tell me what motivated you to open your MedSpa.
So everything started back, about 15, 16 years ago when we met a family in Greece that there was a little girl that had cancer. And because the family didn't have any funds, the doctors out there wouldn't treat the child. So the child actually passed away. So that's when I knew, I'm like, hey, you know what? I need to do something that's going to help make a difference. Because we reached out to a lot of nonprofits that they wouldn't help. They wouldn't reach out because either the child's not in the United States or it doesn't meet the demographic that they wanted to reach out to. So I said, you know what? We have to change this. And there's not going to be a child in my family that's going to have to go through this alone. So that was the mission 15 years ago. And becoming an entrepreneur, I knew I had to create funds to make that thing happen. So started at a young age, started network marketing, worked really hard. My parents taught me valuable lessons. I didn't have let's go outside and play childhood. My parents brought me into the restaurant. I had to work. By 16 years old, I knew how to run the entire business by myself.
Wow.
So our whole family is entrepreneurs. We learned at a young age, it's if you want it, no one's going to give it to you. You have to go out there and get it. And that's what we did. So the end goal was I need to build a center for children that we can help no matter what the circumstances is. And that's why we started the CARE organization.
Okay. And
CARE stands for Children's Aid and Relief Efforts. And it's going to be a no turning away a child policy. So if we have the funds to help, we're going to help, whether it's sex trafficking, starvation, education, clean water. No matter what it is, we want to make a difference and help. So in doing so, I knew that people that say money is the root of all evil, the people that say that are the ones that don't have any.
Yeah.
Right? I've never seen a guy in a Lamborghini go rob a Circle K. It's always some guy in a hoopty that breaks down a quarter mile down the road and gets caught. So the money wasn't, the drive. The money was to make a difference, and money just enhances the person you are. If you're a bad person, you just become a worse person with more money. If you're a good person, you just become a better person with more money. So with that drive, I said, okay, how can we help make a difference? So I started the Entrepreneur Drive, and I didn't quit. I just stayed focused, kept my head down, and we opened up our first restaurants. Me and my brothers worked really hard, sold them, and my middle brother, Dr. Mike, he's a chiropractor. He was working for another company for several years, built this other doctor's company to a multi-million-dollar company, and had all these false promises. So he decided to want to branch off and start his own thing. And with two of my restaurants that were doing really well, he says, hey, would you want to be a partner? And I didn't know anything about personal injury. I didn't know anything about being a doctor or what his field was. I knew my brother would not quit because he has 3 little girls he loves, and he'll do anything to protect those kids. So I didn't invest in the company. I invested in my brother. And I sold the restaurants, and we went to work. and he taught me as much as he could in the business. We became partners. We opened up our first location 4 years ago. And between my brother, Dr. Mike, and my brother, Dimitri, we created an empire together as a family business.
Yes.
And people are like, oh, you know what? Working with family is dangerous, right? But when you have the bond that we have, it's only dangerous for our competition.
Oh, I like that. And, I've seen your guys bond, and you all work so fluidly and so beautifully, and you all have different strengths. And how, like somebody looking in from the outside, I feel like you guys are in a special case because of how much you've already done together and how you were raised. But what's some advice that you would give to other people that are trying to make a family unit in a business more cohesive? Like, what is your guys' secret?
Our secret is just work hard.
Yeah, you guys sure do.
We don't quit. We don't make excuses. We're not scared to sacrifice, right? We'll sacrifice now so we can live a better tomorrow. And we all have our end mission in mind, right? My brother Mike, he's all about his kids. Mm-hmm. He's probably one of the best father figures I've ever seen. Mm. So seeing how he loves his kids and how he works so hard to like give them the best life possible, that's his mission, right? My mission is to help children, help grow the nonprofit to the next level. And we're doing this all together. My other brother, Dimitri, he's got, 2 beautiful kids too. They live in Vegas. They're 18 and 21. But they're already grown, but he's also putting himself in a position now to give them a better life. Mm. So it's our whole mission as 3 brothers working together to build our company. We retired our parents. We bought both of our parents their dream cars. Mm. And it's bigger than us, right? It's the legacy we're going to live.
Yes.
So that's why we started the medical as well, because now we have, with all the resources we put in place, we can branch off now and create more, support to the community. And this all goes in hand with the nonprofit now, because by us owning Chiro and medical, when we launch a nonprofit and there's kids that need help, we're going to have the medical resources to help at cost to treat these patients.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to jump around a little bit because I have so many questions for you because this is all so interesting. So let me jump around. The first thing I really want to know is I've been in your MedSpa, and it's gorgeous. It's the one I've been in is at 32nd Street in Thomas, but I know you also have another location.
Yeah, in Dobson and Pecos in Chandler.
Dobson and Pecos. What are some services that we can come in and get at the MedSpa?
We really offer everything. Mm-hmm. So we offer, PDO threading. We offer IV therapy. We offer, gut health checks for women, hormone imbalancing. We can literally do everything. Microblading, hair restoration, facials.
Yeah. So you have a wide range.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all things that I've firsthand witnessed and seen that are so beneficial. So that's amazing that you have that. And I know for your CARES nonprofit, you're currently doing a drive, correct?
Correct.
Tell me about this drive.
So there is a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Her name is Ashley. What an incredible woman she is. Great mother. And she works for a group home that manages nine children, right? They're women between the ages of 7 and 18.
Yeah.
Well, the state stopped funding most of group homes to the max capacity because there's so much going on. Mm. So you have 9 girls that, go to school with the lack of proper clothing, the lack of hygiene supplies, the lack of the stuff kids need. Right. So they're being made fun of. They're being bullied. Yeah. And these kids come from all walks of backgrounds. We have a couple kids that are, from sex trafficked, from being neglected as parents. I mean, it's incredible to see what these kids went through and how strong they really are. And we're reaching out to make a difference. So we're raising clothes for them. We're raising hygiene products for them. We're going to do a Christmas party for them, give these kids a Christmas that they've never had before. And it's bigger than us. The CARE organization stands for Children's Aid and Relief Efforts. We want to take this to a national level. Mm. We want to be the largest nonprofit to ever exist on the planet, because when, as I mentioned previously, that child that died, of cancer because no one would help, that we reached out to nonprofits, and I'm not going to mention their names, but it makes me sick when the CEOs of these nonprofits are making between $1 million and $3 million a year.
Oh, I can think of some.
And they turn kids away because they don't meet a special demographic of child.
Right.
So for me, as being the CEO of this nonprofit with my best friend and my brothers, my salary is $1. Everything we raise is going to go directly to helping direct families in need. My end goal, before I die, is I want to build a cancer center for children. And the way it's going to work is, here, I'll show you our logo. It's actually pretty cool.
Yes. Awesome. And as you're as you're looking that up, I'm going to take us back just a moment because I want to make sure everybody's clear. So anybody listening, you can start gathering donations in the way of girls' clothing, 8 through 18, hygiene, and we can drop that. Oh, that's beautiful. So what I'm looking at right now is this beautiful handprint in a circle, and I love this symbolism of circles. And we've got all different colors represented from the palm to the thumb to each finger. That's really beautiful. Who designed that, George?
Actually, one of my good friends, Richard, he's an incredible designer. He does all my logos. He does all my work. Special shout out to Richard. He is an incredible person.
Yeah, that's beautiful. There's a lot of nice symbolism.
So if you look at the circle, there's a spot open in the circle. And that's because we're always going to be keeping our doors open for children in need.
I like that.
Right? And the end goal of this logo is actually going to be the center. This is how it's going to be designed, to where the palm of the hand will be the main facility for treatment. But then each finger that comes off the hand will be specifically designed treatment centers for like rape victims, for counseling, for, anything that you could think of. The circle around it, though, here's where this is important. Mm-hmm. This circle will actually be an apartment complex built around it.
Oh,
so
okay.
The way it's going to work is, obviously with the right donations, the right people behind us, we want to build this to a massive scale.
Yeah.
So, for instance, let's say there's a family in need in Arkansas, husband and wife with 3 kids. Well, what happens is in most families that live paycheck to paycheck, they can't afford someone to stop working.
No.
But what happens, one of the parents have to stop to be there for the kid through treatment, for the travel and all that. Well, that's when they start getting behind on their bills. Then there's family tension because financial burdens cause the most tensions in marriages, right?
Yes.
Causes most of the divorces. But now the child is seeing this happen in their own family, and they're saying, as a child, because I'm sick, I'm causing mommy and daddy to fight. Oh. I'm the problem. And that's where that needs to stop.
Yes.
So as they qualify to be in our program, it's not going to be a 6-month or a year qualification. It's going to be, because these kids don't have time to wait that long. What's going to happen? It'll be 30 days. Submit your tax statements, submit your income, what the child needs, and let's get to work. Well, what happened is once this is all launched, we will fly the entire family to stay on site for their treatment. With all the money that we're raising, the parents are not going to work. They're going to be there for 100% support for the child, because one of the biggest cures in life, love. And if the parents are there to love their child through the whole process, it can help the recovery a lot better. So while they're there treating, we're paying all their bills back home. So they're not losing their house. They're not losing their car. They're not, falling, 6 months to a year behind.
Getting their electricity shut off,
They
that.
already have enough going on trying to save their child's life. They don't need to lose everything on top of it. So after they're done with treatment and the child recovers, we want to give that family a donation check to take their first family vacation as a recovered family, and then go back to their home that's paid, caught up in bills and nothing like that. So the whole mission's bigger than us.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not going to preach religion or anything like that, but in the Bible it says a service to many leads to greatness. So my whole philosophy is, who are you serving?
Yeah.
Whose life are you trying to make better? Because if it's only your own life, you're not serving nobody. You're not doing nothing to make a difference.
I love this. I love the vision, and I love that it's so much more than a vision, that you're making steps to make this happening, and it's happening. And I've seen firsthand, I've been around you and your brothers, of how you guys get stuff done and how you guys keep moving forward. I mean, even we're sitting here smack in the middle of COVID with no end in sight. And this is when you're developing all this. And instead of just trying to take care of you and yours in this really hard time, you guys are expanding and helping to take care of so many others. So I know you've already said it, but I want to ask again, where does that spirit come from? Because I hope we can teach it, because that's something all of us need to really embody, is that ability to, even in hard times, band together and help each other.
So where I learned this is because of my parents, right?
Yeah.
We come from a poor family, right? My parents did the best they could for what they could, right? We still lived, we're average income, but they always taught us, you treat people the way you want your kids to be treated. And they broke that in our heads. Nobody in my family disrespects people.
No.
We also stick together. So you come into our family, there's, we're Greek. You're dealing with Spartans. Bad things can happen.
Yeah.
But as a family, we work really hard together, right? We're a unit. There's no I in team. So as as we work as a unit, me, both my brothers, we have our own roles. We all accomplish our own things. We don't have to babysit each other because we all have our own mission. We're all looking for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So that's how this works so well, is because we work as a unit.
Yeah, I like that. So it's so much more than just each one of you individually. You're working together, and you guys are just moving right ahead. And so much more than that, you're making stuff happen.
Absolutely.
So we'll come back to some of these, but the other amazing thing you're doing is you've just launched _local_AZ. Tell me about this.
So coming from the restaurant background, we had very successful restaurants, but it took a lot of work. It's 7 days a week, open to close. As a local business owner, you don't have the luxuries of hiring a bunch of staff and paying for all this because you have to keep your prices competitive.
Yes.
So when I had our restaurants, pre-COVID, pre all this crazy stuff going on, it was already tough. Business owners still live check to check because your employees get paid first, right? Your bills get paid first. So now that with all this COVID stuff and all this stuff going on, we said, me and some of our friends, Will, Ronnie, Mel, Christina Laguna, we all came together and said, how do we support local businesses? Because all these big chains, Maple Nash, Toca Madera, Starbucks, all these big chains, they're fine. They're fine. They're making billions of dollars whether we want them to or not. But it's the mom and pop shops that are, fighting to keep their doors open. And they're trying to live the American dream. That's where the American dream comes from, is the small business owners. That's what fuels the economy. So we're actually looking to help support these local businesses. So every week, we're going to do 1 or 2 events at a local restaurant to post them, to bring them, because we all have a huge following. We're going to bring hundreds of people to their establishment for an event, create that awareness. And to participate, the servers there, they need to make money too.
Yes, they do.
So instead of tipping 10 or 15% like most people tip, to participate in our event, you need to tip at least 30%.
I like that.
Because these servers are single moms, single fathers, families that are trying to keep it together, people who lost their job for several months during COVID and didn't get any help. So we need to help them so they can have a good Christmas for their kids.
Yes.
And more than that, just to get caught up on their bills.
I love that you're doing this, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell this story, but I will. Like in the first part of COVID, I kind of just sheltered in. We did not go out. We cooked every meal at home. We didn't go out and get anything. And, 3 months after, I was like, okay, we need to start going and getting food and supporting these places that we always supported and just enjoyed. And so I went to go to my favorite coffee shop, a little local place, and I checked their hours and they were closed, and I felt horrible because, that 3 months I didn't go in once. I didn't check on them, and it made me feel awful. And it reminded me of 2 things: is I need to support, I live right in Central Phoenix. I need to support all of these small, amazing restaurants and coffee shops around me and local businesses. And I need to tip better than normal. And the other thing that bothers me is anytime, I'm ordering my food to go pick up, and on the phone, I'm like, okay, and add, this amount of tip to it. The guy or gal I'm talking to is always almost surprised at the tip and grateful, which reminds me we all need to really make sure we are tipping when we are doing pickup. We still need to tip. So I love that you are making that requirement, and I love that you are highlighting these local restaurants so we can all step up and go and get our food. I mean, I see the line to Starbucks now, whether it's 5 in the morning or 5 at night, so long at all the Starbucks by my house. So if we're willing to go and spend our money on that, let's go next door to the small coffee shop and give our money there.
Absolutely.
Get out of our car and go give our money there,
Make
right?
a difference. Help.
Yeah.
And here's what really upsets me is the whole social media, world today, right? Everybody's worried about their own image, right? They want to look like they're living the best life.
Yeah.
Instagram became people's highlight reel for their life. Like they're living the best life, but they're really not.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's all
reality.
Front. So it costs you nothing to be a good person. It costs you nothing to share someone's page as an entrepreneur. It costs you nothing to support a local restaurant and just post their flyer for the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything. But if one extra person becomes aware of that business and that word spreads, you can save not just a business, because people don't understand this, it's not the business owner. That business owner takes the risk to employ 10, 20, 30 people that are paying for their families.
Yes.
So it's bigger than just the business owner. It's for the entire family, right? But not just the entire family that work there. it's about the families that get to go there and create memories for their family.
I love this, and I love that, and I love how you saw a catastrophe happening of, small businesses getting forgotten, and you and your people are doing something about it, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
So we have talked about a lot of different going-ons that you have. I want to start giving our listeners places that they can go and check this out. So first off, to support the local restaurants that you're going to be highlighting, you can go to Instagram and do support_local_AZ. Correct, George?
Correct.
Okay. And then how can we find your med spas?
So the MedSpa is Revitalized MedSpa. It's on Instagram. Our website's up and running too, but we're going to do some tweaks to the website to make it even, more user-friendly. But we have so much going on. It's incredible. They can always reach out to, our personal Instagrams between Will. So my Instagram is George _ my last name, Papamatheakis.
And I'll write that in the show notes, everyone.
It's long. I will post a lot of stuff on there supporting local businesses. One of my good friends, he's an amazing comedian. He actually just got voted best comedian in the Valley. His name's Eric Bernal. You can follow him on Eric Bernal Comedy. He is a huge, huge supporter in everything we do.
Awesome.
And it's incredible because he does shows to help kids. He does shows to help people laugh. People need a laugh in this environment right now that we're in, right? Everybody's so stressed out and scared.
Yes, we do.
Everybody needs a good laugh. And he is one of the best comedians I've ever seen.
Oh, I can't wait to check him out.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, we'll put that in the show notes. We have a lot. And I'm not letting you go yet because I still need to pick your brain. I have so many things I want to know. So one of my big questions is, I think especially right now, George, we all need a little bit of encouragement. And I feel like you and your brothers just go full steam ahead. But you're human. I mean, I'm sure there's times where things get maybe a little difficult or trying. Like, what do you do to get yourself out of a difficult time and to keep moving forward?
I mean, we all have difficult times. We're all human.
We're humans,
right?
yeah.
It's part of life. But you can't let a bad moment give you a bad day. And that's where people get caught up is like, oh, this person, said this is never going to work. So I'm going to ruin my whole day over it. No, it's like a bow and arrow. Have you ever shot a bow and arrow?
I have.
Okay. The same thing is in life as a bow and arrow, right? So when you put the bow or the arrow on the bow, right, you pull back. Well, that negative tension, you're pulling the arrow back. That's not you going backwards in life. You're just getting more tension, right? But you have to keep your eye on the goal.
Yes.
And when you pull that arrow all the way back to where it's at its breaking point, that breaking point is your life, right? Where you think everything's going to fall apart, but it's not falling apart, it's just falling together. So when you release that arrow, when you pull all the way back and you release that arrow and you keep your eye on the prize, that arrow now goes beeline straight to your target.
Oh, that is a beautiful visual, and that is so motivating.
So you have to keep your eye on the prize.
Yes.
Don't get discouraged. Don't get sidetracked. Don't look for the shining glitter lights that pop up on the side. It's okay to get discouraged a little bit, but you need to surround yourself with people that are going to push you forward.
Yes.
Your 6 closest friends, that's going to be your future.
Yeah.
If you hang around people that do drugs and just party all the time, that's going to be your future. But if you hang around people that want to grow, make a difference, hold you accountable, everything changes. Like, if you're my friend, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear.
Yeah. Because
I need to be checked too. If I'm doing something wrong, I want my friends to check me. And that's what we do. We have an accountability circle.
Oh, what a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is how you grow, and that's how you move forward. And the other thing I want to ask, because you and your brothers have so much knowledge, what would you tell somebody that is just starting out? So they've never been a business owner before, but they have a beautiful vision and they want to start to make it into reality. What is some advice that you would give to them?
Well, first thing is put it on paper, because if it's in your head, it's not a goal, it's a wish.
Yeah.
Right? Until you write it down, it's a goal. But then it's okay to fail. Fail forward. Right? Never starting, you already failed. And it's crazy because, there's broke and there's poor, right? Broke is temporary. I've been broke several times. My family's been broke several times, right? Broke is temporary. Poor is forever. Poor becomes not just financially, poor is a mindset.
Yes.
Poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Oh, I've never heard that. I like
and
that.
And it's by design.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, where is the most expensive real estate on the planet?
Manhattan?
Nope. Graveyards.
Oh.
Because there's so many dreams, goals, magical things that could be created that people just were too scared to take the first step.
That's a good one. I like that.
And that's what people need to do. They just need to take the first step. Ask for help. It's not wrong to ask for help. People need to lose their egos. People need to start following faith and following their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to preach religion or anything like that, but I believe that nobody has an original thought. I believe that either it's God or a higher power or higher energy, whatever you want to believe in, your goals, your dreams are from a higher power.
Yeah.
And you just need, for me, God didn't check my bank account when he set this goal for me. He checked my faith.
And, I like that.
And I just knew that whatever I got to do, I'm going to put the resources in place to make it happen. And the moment I committed to it is the moment things started falling in place.
And if you're given the idea and you're willing to, like you said, commit to it, that the resources will fall into place.
Absolutely.
And the help will be there. Oh, that's beautiful. I really like that.
People want to help. People want to get behind a cause.
Yeah.
If your cause is to make $10,000 a month so you can go to Old Town and buy bottle service, that's not a cause. If your cause is to, take that resources and make a difference, you'd be surprised how many people get behind you and rally.
Yeah, I bet. So with that being said, I want to get all of us behind your nonprofit. So I know the first thing we can do is gather clothing, 8 to 18-year-olds, drop it off to your MedSpa at 32nd Street in Thomas, like right now.
Revitalize MedSpa.
Revitalize MedSpa. Thank you. Revitalize MedSpa, 32nd Street in Thomas. So hygiene for girls, clothes for girls. Anything in particular when we're shopping that we should zero in on?
They need everything.
Everything?
They need everything. They need shoes. They need dress-up clothes. They need gym clothes. But please keep it professional because these kids are, they're kids. They're girls.
Kids.
They don't need to be looked at as, someone who goes out in Old Town Scottsdale.
Yeah. So get what you would get I'm going to get what I would get for my 11 and 12-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And then for Support Local AZ, we can all find that on Instagram and really get behind the restaurants that you are supporting. And can we make suggestions too?
Absolutely. So what we want to do is we want to highlight the restaurant. So if you know the local business owner, reach out to us on Instagram. Send us their message. Put us in contact with the business owner. We want to get their story and why they need our support.
Okay.
Right?
Perfect.
So once we, interview them, figure out their story, we're going to make a nice post about them, and then we're going to really move forward to pushing their business.
Okay. I love that. I love that. And as it always happens, our time goes way too fast. What do you want to leave our listeners with, George?
What do I want to leave them with? Well, the first thing is just be a good person.
Yeah.
There's so much evil in the world right now. Someone needs a smile. Someone needs someone to wave to them and say hi. You don't know what people are going through right now, especially in this tough time. So if you're walking down the street, wave at somebody. They might think you're crazy, but guess what? It doesn't matter. They need to know that they're being seen, that they're valued, that they're important. If you can share someone's story on Instagram or on social media to support a local business, support them. If you can feed a family for Christmas, feed them. It's just make a difference.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And then everything else is really it comes into play when we're not focusing on ourselves and we're out there supporting others. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. And the one best way, whether it's a phone number, an email, a website, or a social media handle for people to contact you for all your different businesses.
I would say social media is the best way.
Okay. And tell us that handle again. And again, we'll put it in the show notes.
So we have several different handles. Let me give you my personal handle.
Okay.
It's George, George, _ and then my last name, Papamatheakis.
Perfect. And again, we'll have that printed below. Thank you so much, George, for blessing us with your time. It's an absolute honor. And thank you for sharing all your wisdom with us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And please go ahead and like, subscribe, and leave a comment and tell your friends about exposing entrepreneur secrets. I'll see you here next time.